Firstly, the graduate scheme allows you to, meet new people off the bat who are in the same boat as you, potentially go into their first kind of proper office job or first legal job. And you're all in the same boat, and it's really good for that kind of camaraderie.
I mean, I've just moved to Manchester recently, and I started with 26 people, and I've become really good friends with a lot of those people. So we've met up outside of work, but it also meant that we have like a little family inside the firm.
The job is really stressful, so it is important that you've got friendly faces, sat around you, and I really do think that the Express has that. You don't need to feel stressed or worried about saying anything in front of anyone, or no one's unfriendly. Everyone's happy to talk. People love a natter, and that's the best thing about working in this office.
I've worked at quite a few places, and for me, Express has definitely been the best in terms of culture. Everybody is extremely approachable. I feel like one of the best things about Express is that because we're all built up, we all understand what it's like to be in that position when you first come in and you don't know anyone, or you don't know what you're doing as well.
I've always thought in certain jobs you might think you're watching the clock, or you necessarily don't want to go to work that day. It's the first job where I've never ever actually felt like that. I get on really well with my supervisor and the people around me, and I think that culture just makes you want to stay here and carry on your career here, especially when you see there are lots of partners here who started their career out here. That is definitely something that's in sight for yourself.
Everyone is really, really happy to help everybody else. If you've ever got a question, no question is too silly, first of all, and everyone is more than welcome to answer any questions that you have.
I ask so many questions, not only to my supervisors, but to the people around me, and everyone is so happy to help me. I feel like I ask an annoying amount of questions sometimes, but everyone always stops what they're doing and helps me, which isn't actually what I expected. I expected a law firm to be like everyone's just sat at the desk to themselves.
It's really well integrated. There isn't a separation between the lowest grade fee earner up to the highest. Everybody is really approachable.
The reason I chose Express is because I was really drawn to the structure of the grad scheme. I think it was really nice starting with people who are in a similar position to me, and because I relocated and moved to Manchester for this role, it's been very sociable. I've made friends on the grad scheme, and we've all done things outside of work.
I think the major benefit is the SQE. Obviously, I want to qualify as a solicitor, and Express helping me do that, supporting me through that. Not only are they giving me the course with the BPP to get me through to those exams, I get a day, studies day, once a week, and I get the full day to do what I want with that. I have my seminars, and I have time to look through things, and there's no expectation that I need to catch up on work when I'm back. I do things at my own pace. They let me set my own kind of routine there. I really do appreciate. So that's definitely a major benefit to working at Express, particularly being a trainee at Express.
There is a gym on site, which I don't use because I'm lazy, but I do use the roof terrace garden for my lunch times when it's sunny outside.
I take part in the 1 PM lunch pool club, which play every lunchtime, and it's good fun. It allows you to meet people around the firm.
Yeah, I do football every Tuesday night, which is amazing. I mean, it's one of the best things that I've done at Express. It's all organised by the firm, so all you have to do is turn up. I've met so many people from different departments, and it's just nice knowing people outside of work.
I joined the netball team quite early on into the graduate scheme. It's been a really good opportunity to meet people from other departments and get involved in something outside of work.
I love going to the gym, and when I found out that Express had a gym, I was very excited to see it, and it's a good gym actually.
Yeah, so I've not used the gym just yet, but I enjoy working from home. I think it is really good the way that works.
Definitely my favourite benefit is the work from home, specifically the hybrid structure as well actually, because it's one where you get to work from home half the time, and then you still also get to come in and socialise and speak to your peers, and it's one where, because Express is such a collaborative environment, staying at home 100% of the time, especially when you're still learning, isn't that productive. I
have such a good work-life balance. I think a lot of people associate a career in law with staying behind after work and coming in before work, but it's really pushed here that you go home and you go home at 5:30.
There's a lot of trainees at Express and we're all quite close, and I think that's down to the socials that Express runs. It's always somewhere out in Manchester, always an activity, and it's a great way for you to meet other people that you wouldn't really speak to in the office.
I'm currently part of the social committee in EL. EL social committees are the only ones that I've experienced, the main ones that I can talk about, but it's one where everybody gets involved. We all sort of leave our ranks at the door and just really get involved as a team. Some examples include Laser Quest, arcade games, and it's just great to be able to bond with people that you don't usually speak to.
And then of course we have the more formal events. We've got our summer party, which is a blast. I went to my first one last summer and it was great. And the Christmas parties are lovely as well. I love, you know, getting dressed up and having a nice meal with your work friends. It's always a good time. I think training and development at Express is probably one of our strongest elements of working here. I think coming in the grad scheme, I got my training contract within a year, and it's just been strength to strength from there, and I've been supported throughout. I don't think you could ask for more, really. You've got a supervisor that's always there for you. You're sitting amongst trainees all the time, and you do build quite a strong rapport with the people you start the scheme with. So developing, helping each other grow whilst you're in the grad scheme, whilst you do your training contract. I don't think you could do it any better, to be honest.
It's evident how much Express focus on their training programme in terms of the fact that you have to start in a graduate scheme and then you progress on to being a litigation assistant, and you never stay as a litigation assistant. The focus is to get you onto a training contract. So I'd say training is definitely something that Express excels in.
I chose Express because of the training opportunities available. Unlike other firms I've seen, Express is really good at taking on people with less experience and really turning them into qualified solicitors.
I love the fact that there's no competition. When you're ready for a training contract, then you're given one, and it's not the competition of there's only 3 available this year. So I love that.
I feel like a lot of firms will tell you that you can get training contracts if you work hard, but then they'll also sort of pitch you against each other. And I remember with the onboarding process at Express, I was wondering if that was one of the firms as well, where they would sort of dangle that training contract in front of you, unfortunately. And then I'm the type that loves putting in hard work and knows how to sort of focus, and I think Express is the type of firm that rewards you for that type of behaviour. So it's definitely a firm where the more you put in, the more you get back, and I've definitely noticed that in my own personal progression. So the moment that I started here, I literally was just focused on making sure that I would get to the points that I wanted to get to. There were lots of people around me that helped me in terms of knowing how I would get to those points, and eventually, obviously, I was able to secure my training contract. So for me personally, I've really enjoyed my progression at Express.
I've been given a litigation assistant development plan, which is just solely focused on my ability to progress and get that training contract eventually. So yeah, everything is sort of centred around me progressing and aiming for that training contract.
I started in September 2023 in the graduate scheme, and by September 2024 I was onto my SQE training contract.
I started in the September graduate scheme cohort. I was put in the Occupiers and Liabilities department. I was working under a partner. We had a great relationship, and the department's great. And then by the following September I had my training contract. I started with the SQE. It's very difficult, but as I say, I think I've got the right support system. I've got my supervisor, my friends, my team, and the training department in Express are exceptional, so I know I can turn to them.
I found Express really value internal progression as opposed to hiring externally. So this is quite motivating for me personally, because it feels as though your hard work and your commitment to the law firm will be rewarded through progression.
I got my own cases pretty soon as well, and I knew that was something coming into that. I know that Express do trust you, support you of course, but do trust you with a lot of responsibility while you work here, and that's something that I wanted as well. I didn't want to kind of be sat drafting for someone else for years and years. I'd like to kind of get really stuck in, and Express let you do that and help you do that whilst doing it.
the interview process at Express really differs from other firms. I think it's a much more relaxed approach while still maintaining sort of the professionalism. I think also when you get to the stage of interviewing with a partner, you're given a couple of days to sort of go over the question that you'll be provided with, and it just makes the interview flow a lot better and you feel more confident able to answer those questions as well.
The interview process it's quite intense, but it all adds up to something. So I think that they're trying to get to know your personality, but there is problem solving. So we've got a case study, and it is to see how you would work on files assisting and see how you would work on your own files. But it does feel daunting when you're actually in it, only when you actually speak to the interviewer. No, they make you feel really at home, and yeah, it was like a conversation as well.
I thought the interview process was good. I think a lot of it was focused on, talking rather than written applications, which a lot of firms had, which meant that I could express myself. And then after the interview, I had phone calls every few weeks from HR, which was really good. It meant that after I got my interview and completed it and got my offer, the firm didn't just ignore me. They were constantly calling me, and I thought that was really nice, and it meant that I was ready for day one.
We've got excellent facilities here at South Court. We have our brand new gym, which is very popular. We have our EV charger points. We've got a very large car park, and the transport links are excellent. It's on one of the busiest bus routes in the whole of Europe, so the buses are as frequent as every 10 minutes in the morning. We're right off of the motorway, so it's a nice, easy commute.
We also have a thriving Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Network here at Express Solicitors, where we host events raising awareness and celebrating different communities and voices. We do this to make sure that both internal staff and also clients feel comfortable coming to us and they can get their voices heard within Express Solicitors.
Express Solicitors are absolutely brilliant, and I would advise it to anybody.
I'd definitely recommend Express Solicitors. They've been very helpful.
Working with Catherine was great. The communication was excellent. Always there when I needed her. I would recommend Express to anyone.
I ended up with Express Solicitors. I found them absolutely brilliant.
I'd absolutely recommend Express Solicitors.
Oh, obviously, I've recommended 3 times to people.